URFM News for our sponsor Guardia Jewellery, Toronto Town Square and the Esplanade, Warners Bay.
It's 2 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm Thandi Chindove with 2NURFM Hunter News. Mount Owen's coal mine plan to cut nearly 70 jobs in order to reduce production has been criticized by the Mine Workers Union. The mine is owned by Swiss company Glencore, who says Mount Owen employs 400 people, but the union says the relevant number is 270. CFMEU President Peter Jordan says the union has suggested alternatives to the job cuts, which will still reduce the mine's production.
If they shut the mine for a 2-week shutdown at Christmas time, similar to what they did last year, we believe that with the two initiatives together, a reduction to 6-day work and the Christmas shutdown would reduce the tonnage by 800 or very near the 800,000 tonne.
Fears for the John Hunter and Mater hospitals have risen following the Australian Medical Association's latest public hospital report card. With the John Hunter failing to meet its target of having 90% of patients treated within 4 hours and only achieving 61%, the AMA is warning the impacts of funding cuts will further worsen waiting times. Wallsend MP Sonia Hornery says New South Wales has lost $1 billion in hospital funding over the 4 years to 2017-18, and the cuts increase after that point.
It's a great concern about hospital funding cuts from the Abbott government. When we're looking at $60 billion in federal government funding cuts to hospitals, public hospitals around Australia over the next 10 years, I'm really concerned about the impact that will have on both the John Hunter and the Mater hospitals here in the Wallsend electorate.
Hunter councils are welcoming the regional illegal dumping squads, which have been successful in Cessnock and Lake Macquarie. The Baird government announced the dumping squad for the Hunter and Central Coast last year, with funding coming from the EPA and the member local councils. Cessnock Council's environmental waste manager, Michael Alexander, says sophisticated surveillance measures are being rolled out to identify and prosecute illegal dumpers. Lake Macquarie will be filled with the Anzac spirit this weekend, with plans to celebrate the 100th anniversary of World War I this Sunday at Spears Point Park. The official ceremony will commence at 10 a.m., with residents invited to place sprigs of rosemary in the Rosemary Garden, each dedicated with the tag bearing the name of a soldier or local person who contributed to the war effort. Mayor Jody Harrison says everyone is welcome.
There'll certainly be music, there'll be some schools involvement, there'll be community groups and historical organisations contributing to displays and archival footage, and it should be a great day, a lovely commemoration of a time that was very difficult in our history.
Maitland is expecting thousands of visitors from far and wide as the annual Hunter Valley Steam Fest makes its return this weekend. A third working steam locomotive introduced last year will not be available this year, but there will be a range of steam excursions on offer, including trips to Branxton, Dungog and Broadmeadow. Council's events coordinator Adam Frank says there will be new features introduced this year, in addition to the usual festivities.
This year, for the first time, we've actually got a tractor pull sled on our rally ground, which is going to be exciting for the program. And we've also, for the first time, the Maitland Rail Museum, who have a marquee who'll be doing talks. They'll have displays and also a photo exhibition on all weekend.
A Hunter-based care model run by the Clinical Excellence Commission has been developed to identify and improve care for patients at high risk of preventable recurrent hospital admissions. Research into expanding the program further than patients with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease will see reduced readmissions of other chronic groups. Dr. Sarah Dalton from the Clinical Excellence Commission says the program will not stop there.
I hope we can work with other community members, apart from general practitioners and many of the other community health members, in designing pathways to try and keep people healthy and at home.
In finance, the All Ords are down 58 points at 58.58, and $1 Australian is buying 77.74 US cents.
Sport for our sponsor, NewcastleCheapestCars.com.au.
Building up to Sunday's clash against the Eels, Newcastle Knights young gun Sione Matautia looks uncertain for a spot in the side 17-man side. Coming off consecutive losses against the Dragons and the Sharks, the Red and Blue are preparing to put their best foot forward for the match at Hunter Stadium. Matautia says the Eels have key players to watch.
They're obviously a strong side. They beat the minor premiers and the championship winners from last year. So, they can come out with a spring this week. And, obviously they've got their strike players in Sandow and the Hopewadi, and their forward pack's a big forward pack. So we got to, control the whole team overall.
The Newcastle Jets are looking to back up their win against Melbourne Victory tonight when they take on Sydney FC at Hunter Stadium. The win put the Jets 2 points above Western Sydney on the ladder, and the squad are hoping to snag a win in their last home game of the season. And in racing, Hunter Speedway drivers Adam Clark and Matt Hunter will be racing each lap for cash in this weekend's Speedcar 50 lapper in Sydney. 2 NURFM News Time is 1:05.